Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning, welcome as always. And then for those of you who are joining for the first time, welcome to the channel. I appreciate each and every single one of you. This reading is going to be for the sign of Libra. This will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus. Cross watchers, if you are tuning in as well, welcome. And guys, discern the messages as they come to you. Not everything is meant for you. Some parts may resonate, some may not at all. So we'll see what happens, right? And of course, if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do so. You're going to get notifications each time a new video is posted. So, and it's a great way to show your appreciation for the channel. I hope you guys are doing well and fantastic. So this is going to be for Libra for January. What am I forgetting? I don't know if you can hear the cat in the background. He's chiming in too, I guess. Okay, so let's go ahead and just jump into it, guys. Let's see. Libra, what is happening? I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know why, but anyhow. All right, let's see. Spirit for Libra. I'm going to go ahead and take this revision, motion, and balance. I'm going to pull these over here. Many of you probably are aware, like I do a lot of intuitive reading. I don't always read them as they come through efficiency. I feel like if you were going through a period of stagnancy, this may be over. Things that you may be doing may have not worked out in the past. I feel like you're trying to take a different tactic, a different approach. You're being asked per Spirit, and thank you, Spirit, to harmonize what it is that you're working on. And it's, I feel there's this need to propel in a forward motion, but the thing that's sticking out to me with this revision is how it's almost in a sly manner. It almost seems vicious. So I think it was in today's daily reading that I did and posted about communication. Be careful how you're delivering what it is that you're saying, because it may appear to be coming off unbalanced. Like it's almost like you're taking charge. Make sure that if you're taking charge, you're taking charge in the right manner. Because if you're not doing it in a balanced and compromising approach, you can be defeating yourself in the long run, right? So be cautious of that, because I kind of feel like with this revision, I don't know that the headspace is completely where it needs to be. There almost seems to be some swirling energy, like almost like this, you may be feeling a need to protect something around you somehow, or feeling like you're trying to hold on to something surrounding you as well. But it's going to require a balanced approach on your part. And if you're not finding the balance of unity in that to temper what you're putting into something, it's kind of like if you have a boiling pot of water on the stove, if you turn it up too high, it's going to boil over, and then you're going to have a catastrophe, a mess to clean up. Whereas if you're doing it just so, it bubbles right where it needs to, and it's not overflowing it, that type of thing. And don't hang on to control. There's a lot of holding on to things that I'm feeling from these cards. I'm seeing in these cards a whole lot of holding on and grasping. So if you're trying to hold on to control, having a hard time balancing your emotions, check in with yourself, ground yourself, make sure that the energy, that your energetic space that you're working from, it's like working smarter, not harder kind of feel. That's what needs to occur here. So I don't know what it is that you're dealing with in particular. Every situation, of course, is always different, but make sure that you're taking a fair and balanced approach to whatever it is. So let's continue forward. For Libra for the month of January, please. You may even be feeling like you're losing your grasp on something. You may be feeling a sense of defeat, so it's hanging on to control. Or maybe you're dealing with somebody who's trying to hang on to control of a situation that you're involved in as well. And that's creating this, this imbalance. You know what I'm saying? So risk and keep your emotions in check. I'm surprised to see so much water energy for you, Libra, right now. So keep your emotions in check. Again, you know, it's funny that you may be, again, I'm going to go back to you or the person you're dealing with. Somebody in this situation is feeling a sense of defeat in some source. I talked today about this, again, that communication, that it's not just speaking in communication, it's also about listening to what it is that you need to hear to be able to discern what is transpiring around you, and you're stopping. Like, it's almost like, again, this is either you or the person, there's a situation around you somehow, and again, place these messages where they belong. It's a refusal to hear the truth. You may be having a hard time accepting the truth of the matter for what it is at hand. You're not listening to wise counsel. You're not hearing the things that are coming through for you as you should. It's a complete blockage. This could just be a choice of, I don't want to hear it, or this can be a sense of denial as well that sends you back into yourself, of going like self-preservation almost, right? So make sure that when you're communicating, you're not only speaking, but you're listening, because what I'm getting here is a lot of only seeing it one way, a lot of stubborn energy of only seeing it one way. And whatever the situation is surrounding you, you're creating the same cycle to repeat whenever you're not coming out of that stubborn energy where you're not willing to make changes. Or again, this may be somebody that you're dealing with, not willing to make the change to step forward somehow, right? So I would be cautious of that. Strength isn't just about expressing your will, and that is something that Spirit is bringing through. Your strength is about, I think people equate, I'm trying to find the right words to put this into like our worded form, right, from Spirit, that it's not just about our strength to take over and control. Sometimes that strength comes from a space of learning when to let go, release, and surrender, to have the self-discipline to know when enough is enough, and learning how to curtail that stubborn energy and turn it into something positive rather than something negative. So be cognizant of that as well. Excuse me. I did pull out my Kim Cran's Animal Spirit deck. I have not used this deck of cards in forever and decided to get them out. So we'll pull a card here as well. Kind of been doing things, readings a little differently. Yeah, I talked to, I get so sidetracked. So, the readings, I lay them out. I don't have a particular spread for the most part that I follow. I kind of just go with what I feel I need to do per each reading, and that's what I'm doing here today for you guys. Card that comes out is the Hawk, air energy, right? And there you are. Be careful of what you're swooping in on. I feel like it's kind of like you're circling, right? The hawk circles and he waits on his prey. But it's being done in a very sly manner. So it's one of two things. Either you're the one acting in this sense without integrity. It's like trying to be slick. We've got the raccoon energy underneath there. You know, he waits in the dark. He's very sneaky. He does his dirty deeds at night. We'll call it getting into the trash or whatever. Digging something up, pulling something out. Be cautious of what it is that you're doing. If this is not you and you're dealing with this energy, be cognizant of the people around you, of who you're dealing with and what their motives may be to anything going on in your life. If this is you, on the other hand, karma is a thing. So make sure that whatever you're doing, you're acting from a space of integrity. Like maybe if you're digging up information, you're digging up things, you're trying to swoop in and grab what it is that you can, and it's almost kind of like this may be coming from a place of survival instinct. And Spirit's telling me to grab another animal card, okay? This could be a matter of survival, right? or to you, it may feel that way. So you've got to remember too, we've all dealt with some type of trauma in our lives. If you're feeling like you've got to fight, scratch and claw to get to what it is that you want or need, should it be that way? Are you fighting the flow? Are you going against things? Are you resisting something in that? So be aware. There's 2 of them. Starfish. When I look at the starfish, Spirit's saying stuck. It's almost like you're suctioned yourself to something that, well, these are beautiful creatures. They can be beautiful. Spirit's like going, it's stuck. Like it's stuck energy. It's like, almost like you're like, I don't remember what, it might have been it might have been, what was it? Little Mermaid? Going way back here. The Little Mermaid, when the starfish like sucked her face or something whenever she comes out of the water or whatever the hell was going on. That's how it feels to me. It's hanging on for dear life. And if that's what you're doing, if that's how you're feeling about something, release the grasp that you're holding on to. And I seen that back here with this motion too from the other deck. If you're holding on to that, be that air energy, let go. Just let things flow. You know, the hummingbird comes in and they are sweet and they are beautiful and they are carrying a lot of energy, but it also reminds me of how fast their little hearts beat and how fast their wings flutter, that high energy impulse, you know, that buzzing sound. To me though, this buzzing sound doesn't necessarily stand out to me as something that's for the positive. It feels as if it's a fight and flight response that's coming through. And if that's how you're feeling, even though this isn't a woodpecker, a Spirit's going, quit pecking at things. So if you're nitpicking certain aspects, are you picking yourself apart? Are you picking other people apart? Are you picking situations apart? Are you causing an anxiety with that fluttering heartbeat that I'm feeling? Are you causing an anxiety that doesn't need to be there? Can you just rest? It feels a lot, and then the eagle underneath, again, swooping in. I don't know if you're trying to create a situation. There's a whole lot of air energy in this. You know, take flight. The birds, when they fly, if you see them soar, they let the wind carry them. They get they get their wings going and they catch that flight, and then they allow themselves to soar for a while. And I feel like you're fighting that. You're fighting the ability to just go with what direction you're being pulled, and it's taking you somewhere else because it's like you're trying to force, whether it's Spirit saying a response. So whether it's a response, and thank you, Spirit, whether it's a response or pushing against the grain or forcing an outcome, let free will, like you have your ability to do free will, right? Always. But also understand that there's also the universe that makes plans for you and says this is a direction that you need to go, and you can do this the easy way or the hard way. What route are you going to take? So I really feel a lot of that emotional energy, but it's coming in these massive bursts of swooping in on something to take control of something, to be stuck to an idea, an outcome, a way of being. Release that resistance. Release that resistance that you've got going on right now. And Spirit keeps reiterating about the outcome. Are you resisting an outcome because you're afraid of it? So be very aware of that. So I think we're going to go straight to the tarot. This morning, my cards were all jacked. I don't know what was going on. They were all, I think it was this morning, they were all mixed up or some shit. I don't know. It was crazy. But anyhow. All right. Spirit for Libra. There it is again. The Emperor. Card of Aries. It happened again. I just checked them. You see me just check those. I didn't see it. I could have been wrong, but, you know. All right. Like, be a hummingbird. Be light. Be light. Don't be so heavy. Don't be stuck. All right, Spirit for Libra. Death card. You may be dealing with a Scorpio. I do, and I'm going to go back to this. Someone is coming towards you. Someone is coming in with this idea that there's an ending that needs to occur. There's a death of a situation. The situation in spirit is saying needs to change hands. It needs to change hands. You're walking away from choices. You may be dealing with a Gemini. You may have Gemini in your chart, where you're trying to turn things back around. Turn things back around. This can be a misrepresentation of a perception of something that's going on, refusing to see the end of something, refusing to take a different direction, because there's this need to go, like there's this ending is coming in one way or another. And there it is, and it's like there's got to be another way. There's got to be another way. But it's causing a whole lot of mental stress that is absolutely unnecessary for what it is that you're trying to accomplish at this time. Four of Pentacles, there you go, hanging on to that control, hanging on to everything. To me, even though that pentacle, obviously the pentacle is there, I don't feel like this is necessarily related to money. I feel like it's more controlling a situation, refusing to see that change. And above that, I've got forbidden. Again, a blockage. There's a reason that you're fighting so hard, because it's not supposed to happen. You may be tied very much to an expectation of how something is supposed to be. Hierophant. You know, you can be looking at marriages. You may be refusing to see the truth of a marriage or a situation, refusing to see the end of a legality that's coming through. I see that Hierophant. I often think, even though regardless, and there's, I was going to say justice, and there's justice. There you are, Libra. Hierophant 2 being the card of Taurus. That someone with a higher authority is going to make a decision. Someone of a higher authority is going to make a judgment call. And it's going to be something that you're going to have to contend with. Those two cards right there. 8 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. This ending, this closing of this cycle is coming, whether or not you like it. And I talked about that change of direction. That's seven of Cups again, confusion. To me, when I see the 7 of Cups, it's confusion, it's delusion, it's false perceptions of what is there. You're making mountains out of molehills. What's the next shiny thing? What's the next thing I can grab at that's going to put a band-aid on, something that's going to cover it up for that second, the first thing that's going to gratify me? Are you thinking about the long term of a situation? Because I don't feel like you are at this point. You got the Hangman underneath there. Okay. 9 of Swords, or 8 of Swords, I'm sorry. 8 of Swords in reverse. I don't feel like you're thinking clearly. Queen of Swords in reverse. 10 of Wands, burdens. All right, guys, let's see. The Fool. Spirit is saying you don't want to persevere. So if some of you have come into a situation where things are extremely complicated and you're just tired, you're giving up. I'm not going to tell you to give up, but if you're constantly fighting against the grain to do things, you know, you have that revision in the background, you're going to have to change the way that you've done things to be successful. You're going to have to find a way to compromise and balance things out. Something about this situation, whether it's a person or a situation itself, is not working, and there's an end. It's coming in. There may be communication that something is coming to an end, and it's like a refusal to accept a situation for what it is. It's like, well, no, you can't, if you make a decision, it's like this space of indecision, and it's like, I just won't, I don't want to say not do anything, but like, you're refusing to see it differently, right? Refusing to take a different approach. This ending is coming in for you, whether you like it or not. And it's like, Spirit, your guides, whatever you put your faith into, they're offering you a different opportunity by learning to compromise. And if you're not in a state that you're willing to compromise, and you're not clear about the idea that things may differ outcome-wise than what you want or what you expect, or the journey to get somewhere is going to be different than you want or expect, you're creating your own letdown in the long run. And you can be angry with everybody else if you want to, but there's this continuation of this stuck energy. And even though this eight of Swords is in the reverse, For as much as you're trying, it's like you're not trapped by this situation, but you're also not thinking clearly. You're making a choice to make it harder than it needs to be. Or you may be dealing with somebody who's making things harder than they need to be. And then you have to ask yourself, if that is the case, why are you still entertaining it? You know, you've got to stop and think about that very much. I think that if you've got two people, being yourself and somebody else that's involved here, there is a new beginning trying to take shape that's going to help to balance things out. But you've got to be willing to work with what's being given to you. And when you refuse, you just keep hanging on to the same old situations here. It's creating a mass confusion internally for you that is making it harder. You're not, and I repeat, you're not stuck. And I think you know you're not stuck. It's a choice. You're refusing to make a choice to do things differently. So you're making it ultimately harder on yourself. You might have gained, I talked about that strength earlier, like I'm looking at that 10 of Wands, and you know, he's got these super strong muscles and in his legs, and he's persevered, and he's got the physical strength, but what about the mental? Because I don't feel like the mental capacity is there anymore to continue on with this situation. And, you know, our human ego goes, if I lose, if I concede to something, then I failed. Our ego gets involved, our pride gets involved, and we cut ourselves off from positive change because we refuse to not boost the ego, right? So, you know, pay attention to that. Let's I'm going to clarify the major arcanas, and that's going to be it. Excuse me. Clarify the death card for Libra, please. So we've got Scorpio, Gemini, a lot of air on the board. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. We've got Taurus. The Devil. Whatever codependent, toxic situation has occurred in the past, this is trying to close out. Somebody, whether it's you or someone else, is trying to pull back from this situation, is trying to walk away from this situation. Hands down, there is no other option but to walk away. To go, I'm no longer engaging in this situation. I'm done playing with fire. I'm done fighting. And again, you know, energy of Capricorn too, that it's not worth obsessing over. Let the obsession die. Let it cat. Let that obsession die. Let it burn to the ground. Sitting in these situations with other people is stopping you from growth. Or if you're dealing with somebody who's like this, they may be stunting your growth at this time. What do you have to do to let go and release that? Because again, this cycle, this situation is wanting to close for you. Clarify the colors, please. Wheel of Fortune. It's wanting to close. It's wanting to move forward. It's wanting to shift gears. It's wanting to get you to the end. Something new needs to start. And you know this. You know this, but it's seeing the darker sides of it rather than the lighter sides of how it will bring balance to an equation. To give. Spirit is saying to give. Another 10. You've got 2 10s here. To give. And I feel like there's been times where either you or who it is that you're dealing with, you've gotten like halfway there. And then it's like, oh no, wait a minute. My ego doesn't feel it. My ego isn't feeling proud enough. We're going to go back to the way it was. Whether you like it or not, this situation will close itself out. So you get to decide if you want to take the easy route or the hard route. Ace of Swords, Truth, with the Hierophant there. 8 of Cups in reverse. You may find yourself if there has been confusion and chaos, this truth, I feel, is coming in very sharp, very to the point, very matter of a fact, very fed up. It's almost like I'm hearing like thunder crackling, going, this is the way it's going to be. And I don't know why the hell the Little Mermaid keeps coming back up. But if you remember when, I don't know why that's the thing for this reading. I don't know. But in that movie, it was a King Triton, I think, comes out with his pitchfork or whatever, and he starts blasting all of Ariel's human things or whatever it was. That's how this feels to me coming in, is it's like this, certain things to this situation, just, they don't matter. They don't want to hear the bullshit. They want to get down to the heart of the problem, the issues at hand, and this truth is coming in. And I feel like a couple people are getting scalded as a result. So this could, if this is a work situation, if you can't play nice with your coworkers, it's kind of like that one bad one gets everybody in trouble, that one bad apple kind of thing. I feel like multiple people are going to get scolded, and there's going to be a very matter-of-fact truth that comes through in this situation somehow. You're being offered new beginnings. Truth is coming out. Clarity is coming through. Seeing things for what they are. Not tolerating the things that are no longer serving. And yet, somebody in this situation keeps fucking turning around and going, maybe I can just kind of tuck my tail and sneak out of here. I can get away with XYZ. If you're doing, and I've said this before, if you're doing shit you're not supposed to be doing, it is always a matter of when the truth will come out. And with this, if you're trying to withhold the truth, understand they see the truth. If someone you're dealing with is not being honest and you've got this gut instinct that something's not right, don't deny yourself a truth. If you're aware, sit with that. If you're not, better figure it out. Because I feel like this whatever confusion, if this is a love situation, if you're hanging on to something just to hang on to it out of codependency, it's time to change it up. It's time to shift gears. If this is work, I feel like it's group related, that, you know, if things have not been moving or balanced and one person's doing more than another, or another person is, you know, doing less, obviously vice versa, it's going to come out. There's going to be something, and Spirit is actually saying something about paperwork. So I don't know who it is that works in an office type setting or whatever this paperwork might be. You may be dealing with somebody at work that it's like they might, if you have 10 sheets of paper that needs filled out, I don't know, hypothetical, right? You know, Linda next door in cubicle 5 only does every 3 sheets, and then she slides them over and kind of waits for somebody else to pick up the slack. Linda is gonna get caught. Like, it's a matter of when. And then it's gonna be a whole new reform of, this is how this is going to be done, and the hammer might be coming down on everybody as a result of that. But everybody is going to do it this way, and I'm going to check this it's almost like they're feeling the need to babysit because somebody's just not doing what the hell they're supposed to do, right? Spirit's saying play fair. Thank you, Spirit. Play fair. Do your part. Compromise, right? Work through things together. That way it's not feeling so hard, but it's like, I'd rather go off and hide in the night. I keep getting this like scurrying energy. I talked about that raccoon coming out at night. That's when they come out, they eat, they do their thing. And it's this need to try to like come in, create a situation, and then tiptoe out of it. Like, oh, I have no idea what happened. I wasn't there. Stir the shit pot, but then, oh, I wasn't there. So, you know, I don't know who it is you're dealing with and what exactly is going on for you in particular. But if you're dealing with people like this, the truth will be heard. The truth will come out. The truth will set anyone free that's in a situation of the same. Some of you may not like the news you hear. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. This is how it's coming out. You may not like the news you hear. You may not like the truth that you get. Spirit's saying what's fair is fair. So whatever this balance is, what's fair is fair. All right, let's get you guys, whoops, an oracle card, and then we're gonna get this posted for you all. This is the White Light Oracle. Alana Fairchild, I love her stuff. Like if you have your own cards and things like that, Alana Fairchild, I've got, I think the majority of her decks. They're awesome though, I love them. Absolutely love them. So, she's got some beautiful artwork. My hands are too small. The majority of these guys. All right. Card of advice for Libra, please, Spirit. Card of advice for Libra. And I think these are in Greek, maybe something to that effect, something like that. I'm not sure. I don't ever pronounce them right. Let me grab the book too, because I'll give you my intuitive approach to this, and then I have been reading these oracle, or the books anyhow, their definition for the books. It's usually not my thing, but that is one that I will do. All right, so number 42, Garuda Saparna. Hopefully I pronounced that right. That's 6 to me. And you know what, guys, I'm going to show this to you. I talked about all that air energy, right? You can't make it up. You see that? That beak, that hawk eye kind of thing. There it was again, the hawk. You had that hummingbird, and then what the hell did I do with the deck? The eagle. Another bird, another pecking. More air energy, and then you've got this guy at the very end. Is that like an eagle? I feel like you're there's this idea of fixation of what I'm getting here. Know when to not speak. Know when to be silent. Know when to just be still. Right? Know when to just be still and go. Do not go with into a state of resistance. You know, I feel this energy that's encompassing, and it's like there's this radiating, pulsating energy that I feel that's calling to you. Are you listening to it? Because back here, it's not happening. That listening is not being heard. Like there is an internal gut that's causing this fight and flight response that I talked about, and fight and flight, ha ha ha, right? Now that I think about it, you're just going to take off, whether it's an aggression or upset or whatever this is, getting carried away in your emotions or fire energy. And it's like, that is called survival mode when you are there. And if you're in survival mode, why? Are you truly in a state of fear? Or is it fear in your ego going, but what if I don't get my way? There's a radiating, pulsating feeling that's coming from within you that's asking you to be still and get a clear perspective. And I don't feel like that's what's happening. This can relate back to childhood. This can be karmic situations. This may be some type of karma trying to clear the air moving forward. This may be the beginning of a karmic situation for you or somebody that you're dealing with that is soulmate kind of energy. But the thing that I find interesting is with this bird, as still as he is, he doesn't even seem like he's breathing. So pay attention. 42. Okay. Book definition to this card. Cultivate confidence in yourself. You have the inner spiritual power to deal wisely and effectively with any situation. Don't allow anyone to take advantage of your kind nature. Reflect upon what action feels best for you to take and then follow through with decisiveness. Do not allow negativity to get a grip in your life. Positive energy and outcomes are indicated. Garuda is the mystical king of the birds, a mighty eagle-like divine creature celebrated in the spiritual traditions of the East. In Sanskrit, Saparna means to have powerful wings and fly well. This has spiritual significance as Garuda can cover great distances and reach tremendous heights. Garuda's earthly counterpart, the eagle, is said to use the powerful winds of a storm to fly above it rather than get caught within it. The eagle spirit is a wisdom teacher, one who advises how to utilize the storm of ego to fuel your capacity to rise spiritually, to face problems head on and use them to heal and grow. Eagle seeks higher sanctuary, where negatives can be dealt with before they cause further problems. Another Sanskrit word according to Garuda is Vichara, which essentially means conqueror of poisons. Garuda Saparna augurs a time when you will need to rise above the pettiness of ego, which you cannot make it up. Talked about that, right? And ensure you nip negatives in the bud, lest they become powerful enough to cause havoc in your heart. You don't need to become ensnared with the drama of ego. Garuda fights on the side of the light and is a bringer of powerful protection and hope and is a symbol of rebirth. He is a capable warrior. His dark side can be seen in that he is merciless. In Buddhism, he is known as the dignity of wisdom. Sometimes our compassion can outweigh our wisdom. Our empathy allows troublesome behaviors or circumstances to fester and develop into far greater problems later on. If we had listened to our wisdom, we would have cut them off at the root. But while it can be harder to do so later, it is not impossible. It is Garuda who teaches us to be unyielding when that is what wisdom calls for. Eagle socializes with its own kind. Therefore, an aspect of medicine is to seek those who resonate at a similar spiritual frequency or are committed to a higher path. Such kindred spirits will not necessarily have the same belief system. They may seem quite different to you in many ways. Yet if someone has a commitment to honoring the hearts of all beings, they are likely to be in good company for your soul. Garuda Eagle medicine empowers us to discern the real quality of our relationships. The company you keep can have a profound effect. You have the spiritual right and responsibility to choose which company you keep. You don't need to judge. For everyone is taking their own journey and working to heal their karma, but you need to discern. I feel like I could have read this one card and that would have been the reading. And Garuda has the mystical power to grow or shrink depending on what is needed to accomplish his heroic task. By becoming large enough to block the sun and cause thunderstorms just by flapping his wings, to becoming small enough to hide in a crevice to craftily avoid capture, Garuda teaches us to step up and shine bright and bold when to fly under the proverbial radar. There's that hummingbird, right? The Oracle of Garuda Saparna is a talisman of divine protection and soul smart strategy. Garuda is a wild spirit, free and instinctive. His is the wisdom and empowerment needed to rise above negativity, not from avoidance, but from a place of wisdom and clarity. And remember, I talked about like kind of sneaking off, stirring the pot and running off, that type of thing. Don't avoid it. Own it, right? This oracle guides you to rely on your instincts and be true to your heart. In doing so, you may not always look like a perfect person from the outside, but you are proceeding in resonance with your own heart wisdom. And like I said, from a space of integrity, right? Talking about integrity earlier. Ta-da! Ta-da! There you go. That pretty much sums up everything in a nutshell. So Libra, whatever's going on, this is like a serious, like monotone kind of reading, but the messages is, that's always what needs to come out. So discern, accordingly. I'm human and it's getting late and I'm getting tired. All right, guys. I hope, this reading resonated for you in a positive light, that you can use it and you gain some messages and some clarity out of it. If you found this video did resonate for you, hit that like button, hit subscribe. You're going to get notifications every time a video gets posted. I do try to do daily collectives Monday through Friday, and then get the signs out as need be. I plan on doing some things for Valentine's Day. Lovey-dovey holidays, even though we know I'm not a fan of love readings. What the hell, why not? It's all good, right? Okay. All right, guys. I hope you have a fantastic month of January. I will see you soon, and on the next one, I'm wishing you all the best. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you around. Bye.